That was the first show I ever played, was a show at the Viper Room that was only like 1 minute long, the night River died. I just played the song Life's a Bath, and that was the first time I ever played a solo show. I played the song Life's a Bath, and then I threw up on my friend Gibby Haynes. I felt it coming while I was on stage, and I just threw the guitar down, and I rushed over to Gibby, who was sort of sitting on the stage but sitting on the floor, and I threw up all over him. And he was just laughing. He's used to it, I suppose. Well, I didn't have any money the last time that I got off of drugs, and so I guess they have some sort of a deal with Los Encinas Hospital, where they, I guess they pay them a portion of the money, but they sort of, they work together at, making it so a musician who has no money can go into a hospital that costs, $20,000 or whatever to go to. I didn't have any money at that time, so they arranged it to where I could go in the hospital. I was never really 100% about wanting to quit doing drugs, I never really, there was never any point during, like, I guess the first time I tried to quit taking drugs was in like 1990, around Christmas time of 95 to 96, and never, the whole time I did a 30-day program at Exodus Hospital in Marina del Rey, and at no point that I was there did it ever occur to me that I wanted to stop doing everything, whereas when I was at Los Encinas Hospital, there was another, so I quit that time, then I started doing them again, then I quit another time, and then I started doing them again, and then the whole time it was always like, I'm not going to make any rules for myself. I can do whatever I feel like doing, When I was at Los Encinas, it occurred to me that about halfway through the time that I was there, all of a sudden I realized that it would be a really good idea for me to just see what happened in my life if I stopped doing everything. If I became strict with myself and I didn't smoke pot and I didn't drink alcohol and I basically tried to live a completely clean life for a year, just see what happens, And so that was the deal I made with myself, and it turned out, really well, I noticed that a certain kind of energy builds up. You get a certain kind of momentum by not giving in to constantly trying to take things into yourself to make yourself feel the way you want to feel at that moment. And what ends up happening is maybe you don't get that immediate gratification of the rush of a hit of crack or something at the moment that you feel like taking a hit of crack, but a week later you've started being friends with a friend who you haven't been friends with for years, and somebody smiles at you that you haven't, nobody's really given you a genuine smile for a year, and then all of a sudden, like, that week you made 15 people smile, these kind of things just start happening, and I just started really getting off on the feeling of not being on drugs, So, yeah, I guess it was just in the cards for me to stop at that time that I did, because the other couple of times that I tried to quit, it never occurred to me that there could be any advantage to stopping doing it. Making people happy off stage. It's like I'd play a song or two for somebody, but it wasn't like now where like I can pretty much entertain any of my friends if I feel like it, and if they feel like listening for a half hour or 45 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. But I can actually like entertain them in my living room or whatever. At that time, I didn't really have my music that together or my singing that together to where I was making people happy with it. It was pretty much just to feel like I was doing something. When you haven't done anything for a few years in front of people, you just feel the need to do something for the sake of At the time that we released Californication, as our managers explained to me, we were building an audience from scratch, because their last album had been a few years before and it hadn't been very successful. With Californication, the first few months of touring that we did was to set up the album. We did a tour for high school students. We did promotional tours in Europe for radio. There was a lot of setup for the whole thing.